Welcome into tonight's broadcast here from the Ector County Coliseum. My name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of your Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 season here in the North American Hockey League. We are in the middle of a 3-3 series between the Jackalopes and the visiting El Paso Rhinos. With the Rhinos' 4-2 victory against the Jacks last night, they take over sole possession of 6th place in the South Division against their inaugural season. They now have a record of 10-2 for 22 points. They snapped their 3-game losing streak and improved their road record to 3-6. They actually just pick up now their 2nd overall win on the road against a South team with the victory last night. They will be starting their second line of Alex Krause, who had a goal yesterday, Bo Kosman in the middle, and Frank Tefelsky from Troy, Michigan on the right wing. On defense, it will be Jack Anderson and Nick Justice. And in between the pipes for the 6th straight time between these two teams in the 6 of 8 meetings, it's Lassie Lenny from Espoo, Finland. As for the Jacks, the loss last night, with these two teams being the only game taking hand in the South yesterday, they are still tied for 2nd place with the with the New Mexico Ice Wolves, I should say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to
as the Jacks' loss gives them a record of 14-8-0-1 with 29 points. They had their 3-game winning streak snapped yesterday, and on home ice,
these rules provide fair play and
they are 6-3-0-1 as the home team. Again, they had 2 home wins back at the Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota. So here at the Ector County Coliseum, they are 4-3-0-1. And the Rhinos scored first yesterday. Actually scored the first 2 goals in the first period, but they are now 7-2 when scoring the first goal of the game. Goal scorers yesterday for your Odessa Jackalopes was Tanyan Bejier. He had the lone goal in the second period to keep the lead in half. And then within the first 5 minutes of the final period, it was number 17, Brendan Finn, notching his first NAHL goal from Oxford, Michigan. And of course, that name right now publicized in the media for everything going on with the high school out of Oxford, Michigan. So obviously our condolences to everybody involved in that high school shooting that took place just a few days ago. The starting lineup for your Odessa Jackalopes as they are getting set to touch the ice here for game number 2. They are going with the third line of Emerson Good, Justin Hughes, and Riley Yates, which has been pretty much connected across the board for a large part of this season. That third line's chemistry has been very solid lately, as is that fourth line that really hasn't been touched too much of Mansfield, Ryan Kusler, and Tanyan Bejier. Some jostling between the first and second lines that I'll touch on briefly in a little bit. Starting defenseman will be Evan Orr, the Michigan Tech University commit. Alongside him will be Connor Kuitt from St. Michael, Minnesota. And once again, in between the pipes for the 5th time out of 6 meetings between these two teams, Alex Proctor, who had over 30 saves yesterday in a 4-2 loss. He still has 12 wins under his belt, but he registered his 4th regulation loss here in his NAHL season. Lenny picked up his 9th win this season, still among the top 5 netminders and losses with 8. So he's roughly around that 500 margin. As Alex Proctor makes his way onto the ice surface and joins his starting 5 at the Jacks blue line. We'll get things ready with the national anthem and a ceremonial puck drop here for game number 2 of 3 in a row between El Paso and the Jackalopes.
Twilight Here next, please have our captains. And now for our special
Kraus and Orr for the ceremonial puck drop. Here to kick off game number 2. Lenny had 28 saves in yesterday's 60-minute contest. The biggest talking point, like I was stating earlier, were the top 2 lines. Ben Palmersheim and Zach Nichols in their second NAHL games. Ben Palmersheim was the first tender for the Jacks this season from the Des Moines Buccaneers. Zach Nichols coming from the Carolina Junior Hurricanes to help out this depleted Jacks roster that now has 7 scratches. William Marshall out from after receiving a big hit in yesterday's game. Puck is dropped. Game number 2 is underway. Same officiating group as yesterday. Chaz Nochi, Eric Anderson, and Jacob Poe. Anderson and Poe guarding the blue lines. Orange stripe around the bicep of Chaz Nochi. The puck will go to the far side, played right in front of Odessa's bench, and settled down on the backside by Kraus. Justice fires it right back to Kraus. Turnover almost in possession of Emerson Good. And the puck will glide all the way down into Odessa's zone, right past Proctor. For an early icing call. The first one here in game number 2, as we're just over 30 seconds into the opening period. Bankier and Nick Ahern, and actually Ahern just turned 19 the other day. He's only played 2 games for the Jacks, and he has to sit out yesterday and today, due in part to what took place last Saturday against Shreveport. Tavorny keeps it alive from the ensuing offensive zone draw. On the far side is Perdian. Swinging it was Tallene. It will go back out to the Jack zone as Tavorny will set it up from his own end. We'll play it over to the far side. Head coach Scott Dewar back behind his squad on the bench, as Duclair will patiently wait behind Proctor. Duclair with 12 goals in his rookie season. The RIT commit leads the Jacks in points with 18. And touches it back into the Rhino zone, and it's fired deep into the right corner. Tavorny retrieves it. Looks across the blue stripe, had some problems as it will glide right in front of El Paso's bench, and it's chopped deep by Nathan Mann. No nameplate on the back of number 25 in the bright orange numbers, and nameplates for the rest of his group. And one of the only adjustments that they made, as this is going to be a tripping call on a delayed penalty against El Paso, they have it touched up. They actually got 1 or 2 touches on it before Nochi put the whistle to his lips. So a Jersey Mike power play. They called tripping on number 27, Jordan Zilnik. So an early power play opportunity, 18-16 left to go here in period number 1 of a scoreless game. Again, thank you for tuning in on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube Live channel. Draw is to the glove hand of Lenny. Odessa leads the season series right now 3-2. They have it at the far right point. Fire it to Perdian. He's got 4 power play goals. He has 6 total goals this season. Back up top to Kuwait. Now to Perdian. Perdian waits. Fires one. Hit a body in front. And stung with a block shot was Jack Anderson. Hobbling back to 2 feet. As he is still in a lot of discomfort at the top of Lenny's crease. Trying to not put a lot of pressure, I think, on the left foot. They work it back up to the top of the point. Kuwait, right-handed shot. He'll walk the line, send it near side to Perdian. Perdian with it. Sends it down low to Duclair, and they try to bat it out of midair from Hoyer. And they sweep it back up top. Perdian with it now. Left circle, doesn't find a lane to shoot. And the Jacks are unable to get a quality shot on that initial power play opportunity in the first minute. As we take under 60 seconds left on the Jersey Mike's man advantage. Anderson finally was able to make his way to the bench as he is still in a little bit discomfort from blocking that shot. Stretch pass will connect to Good. He'll pump the brakes. And he'll twist one into the right corner where there was no one in white to pick it up, and it's flung back out to the neutral zone. He'll drift it back to Tallene. The defenseman head fakes, and he'll cross the red line. Now the blue, and receives a low hip check from Bolina, and Tallene is still down as he went very awkwardly on top of his head. And that was a very low hip check sent from Spencer Bolina. Usually, again, you're aiming for the hip. I think he caught maybe around the top of the knee, thigh area, which is usually what they would call a penalty on Tallene. Again, just getting to the bench and went very awkwardly over top of Bolina. We go back to 5-on-5 hockey. 0 for 1 on the power play for Odessa so far. They went 0 for 2 yesterday, as did the Rhinos. Hughes with it. We'll send it back up top to John Christian. He fires one, whistles wide of Letty, retrieved by Wojciechowski below the left goal line. Trying to feed it off to Yates, and it's picked off by Justice and worked out the other way. He'll cut right through center ice for a dumping change as he sends it into the left corner. With it is Christian. A burst of speed along the near side wall, tried to jab it past a Rhino player. Finn looks to regroup, and he'll play it forward to a waiting number 16, Zach Nichols. Now a big hit on the Rhinos bench, sends it cross ice to the near side. Retrieved by Orr, he'll play it back out to Palmershine, who wipes out right in front of the Jacks penalty box, and it's cleared deep by El Paso. Just about 5 minutes going here in the opening period of 3 of a scoreless game here from the Ector County Coliseum. Orr fires it right off the back of Palmershine. And luckily he gets that one first as Zach Nichols serves his weight around on the far side. And it's intercepted by Bolina. Snapped forward in hopes to get it to Bo Kosman, and icing will be the call. Tallene out there taking a few practice laps to see if he's okay. Usually the Jacks will play an extra forward or defenseman, but due to some players being out for suspensions and injuries, they are without that option. Tallene will blast one from just above the right circle. He appears to be okay as him and Devornier are back paneling. As charging in with it was Kosman, and his high shot sails right past Proctor as a big hit from Tallene on the far side. He appears to be okay. And it's spun deep by Kusler. Getting to it first will be Olenjinski, the St. Lawrence commit. Had trouble playing it. Begier flubbed on the shot from the left circle, and the Rhinos will pick it up. Wojciechowski fires one. Hit a body in front, and actually a little stung was Olenjinski. The player went down below the goal line. I think that was number 5 Carpenter. It was. He will pick the puck up now and lob it back up to the blue line. We're keeping it alive was Wojciechowski this time. However, it will go from zone to zone. It dribbles down and is settled by Wojciechowski. The Rockford, Illinois native will wait behind Proctor as he sends it near side to John Christian. Across for the leading scorer, Chris Duclair. The RIT commit gets around one, and he'll twist one all the way back up top, or not in position yet. And regrouping are the Jacks with 13:30 left to go here in the first. Is definitely a better start to the first period for Odessa compared to yesterday. Although the Rhinos didn't score their 2 goals until there were less than 3 minutes left on the clock. It was 2 straight by El Paso, followed up by 2 unanswered by Odessa. And then the Rhinos answered with 2 straight more of their own. Those two in the third, separated by a minute, 13 seconds. It's knifed over to the wall by Kuwait and sent from left to right. It's on its edge and is kept alive on the far side by Purdy, and only for a brief second, and is worked out by the Rhinos. They have numbers going the other way. They fire a blast off the stick of Anderson, and it's caught and saved by Proctor. 12:51 remaining here in the opening period. The Jacks have an opportunity to still make their way into the 30-point margin. And over the last few seasons, 60 has really been the target opportunity as they get two whacks at it in front of Proctor. He comes up tall on both, and numbers if they can hurry for the Jacks. Good. With it near side, fanned on a pass attempt, and they send it out the other way. Cosman catches the Jacks sleeping. He's one-on-one with Proctor, and he runs out of real estate on the far side. Never getting a shot off as Proctor negated the angle. Snap to your side to Good. Tries to get around two. Unsuccessful. And keeping it alive by flipping it. Unfortunately, up and out of play was Tallene, so we have a whistle to come with 12:16 remaining here in the first. 4 shots for the Rhinos, 1 for the Jacks, as this puck will be brought back out to the neutral zone. Taking it was Palmershine. Sent deep by Wojciechowski. And without the extra forward and defenseman, it definitely means that some of these Jacks players are going to have to play longer minutes here in this game number 2. Bankier and Ahern not eligible until tomorrow. Manzo out until next Saturday. According to the NHL rules, 2-game suspension automatic for leaving the bench. 2 games for being the third man in a fight. Manzo did both. Puck is dumped deep into the Jack zone on the near side half wall. Miles avoids 2 hits from Odessa as he gets pinned up against the corner wall. Sent back up top. Sending it out to the neutral zone was Nichols. So having to regroup are the Rhinos as Palmershine sidesteps around Miles' hit. And he drapes it back to the defense. Knifing at that one was Bezier. On the far side, the Jacks have it. Unable to get it successfully all the way below the goal line, so it will be worked back to center ice, where Mansfield will enter first along the near side wall. He'll twist and turn his way in and follow up on the rebound on the far side. In the right corner, Mansfield still with it, being guarded by 2 Rhinos players. They tried to send it to awaiting Kusler in the slot, but couldn't get it off to him. 10:40 left to go here in the first of a scoreless game from the Ector County Coliseum. Mansfield again from 2 knees, swipes it back into the left corner. It's chipped off the Plexi, back up top to Orr, who only knuckles it a little further. And it's played near side to Mansfield. Once again, another zone entry by Mansfield to Bezier. He fires one, it deflects wide. A lot of heavy traffic in front of Wendy, and it's draped back by Mann. Coming away with our other Rhinos. They set it up near side. Horn across the red line, snaps it to awaiting Harris, who had the 4th Rhinos goal yesterday. Played back to the left circle where Horn was waiting, and his shot is saved by Proctor, and no rebound to come. And Horn ended up losing an edge behind Proctor's net, so we'll regroup his 4x6 cage as we also head to a media timeout here in the first period.
And also, please visit our giving tree located in the East Concourse and be an angel for a child in need this Christmas season. Bring back your unwrapped gifts with the children's ornament, and our friends at Paso of the Permian Basin will take care of the rest.
4-1 are the shots in favor of El Paso. Most of the Jack shots have been blocked out in front by Rhinos players or have just not found the body of Letty. It's still a scoreless game here in game number 2 of the 3-3 series. It's the second of 4 3-3 games that the Jacks will have this season. The other 2 will come for the first 2 weekends of February. And interestingly enough, because you play one team 4 times at home and 4 times on the road, because the Jacks had home opening weekend of a 3-3 against Lone Star. Lone Star will be back here for the other 3-3. But then the other 2 games of that 3-3 will be against the Ice Race. And then the following week, the Jacks head to Corpus for a 3-3. So back-to-back 3-3s. 5 of the 6 games will be played against the Ice Rays. And all of February will be played against Lone Star and Corpus. It's tipped deep. Icing is waved off as Hoyard is below the goal line. Rhinos with possession. They play it out from their own zone and flip it over to awaiting Harris. Almost got around Tallene. Numbers going if they can hurry. They send it to Duclair. Trying to get a pass back. Couldn't, and from a low shot. And shrugged aside by Letty. Crowd by Hoyard. He tried to pass it deep into the Rhino zone. Unable to do so, and El Paso will just look for a dump-in change. 9:10 left to go here in period number 1. 5 shots for the Rhinos, 2 for your Jackalopes. Puck deflects off a leg over to the far side for Olenginski. It's picked up at the logo by Dvorny and then sent right back over to the Rhinos. They find Tofelsky, whose pass attempt and a shot from the far side saved by Proctor. Pass forward to Good. Firing a long diagonal pass to Yates, who tries to find Hughes. Broken up and then chipped actually up and into the Rhinos bench before a halt to play with 8:37 remaining here in the first period. Six shots now for El Paso, 2 for Odessa. Neutral zone draw, 1 back by the Jacks. They send it all the way down. Wojciechowski will look to lead the charge the other way for his squad as he's got John Christian and Hughes to his wings. He finds Christian on the near side. Christian with some open ice, launches it deep. It kicks off the end wall and is settled down by Anderson. He's stripped of the puck by Hughes, and then those go toe-to-toe on stick lifting one another. Hughes finds the puck once more. Christian whips it across for Wojciechowski. Shoveled deep by Good. And quick changes on the fly coming for the Jacks. As a big collision leads to a turnover for the Rhinos. Chasing after it is Nichols. And now on the near side is Ben Palmersheim. Or we'll get to it. Fire it off the near side boards where Finn and Quittel meet along the wall. And a big hit from Miles sends him down. Finding it is Finn. He launches one from the left circle that's fought off. And it's directly towards the right of Letty. And retrieved by the Rhinos. As they maybe again were trying to spring a breakaway opportunity with Bremanis guarding the Jacks near side point. Finn having trouble getting away from the left corner. It pops loose momentarily. Finn going after a guy in the left corner now where the puck is sent back. Him and Pfister still tangled up with one another. No call on the play. Offside go the Jacks with 6:57 left to go here in the first. 0-0 is the score here from the Jack Shack in game number 2 of 3 straight. Between 6th place El Paso in their inaugural season and 2nd place Odessa, tied with New Mexico for 29 points out of the south. Amarillo has 31. They are atop the division, and they play Shreveport this weekend. All South teams in action now today and tomorrow. As after this weekend concludes, the 2 teams with the most games played will be Corpus and Odessa with 25. And a turnover behind Proctor's net, settled by Kyra. He had a goal yesterday's game and a shot from Bolinos, saved by Proctor in the left mid, and no rebound to come. Changes coming for both sides here. For this offensive zone draw for the Rhinos on the near side circle. Puck will elude Kraus. As they send it back out in front, and sprawling to try to make the save was Proctor. Unfortunately, he could not deny Frank Tefelsky, and the Troy, Michigan native makes it 1-0 Rhinos. They just beat Proctor on the near side as he was stretched out pretty far to try to attempt to make it. A lot more of that open net was available towards or for Tefelsky, and he was able to send that frozen rubber in the back to hit the twine for the game's first goal. Again, the Rhinos are now 7-2 when scoring the first goal of the night. Tefelsky looking for another. They send it out in front. This time they backhand it up and over Proctor. As on the far side, all alone, was Bo Kosman. No one picked up the Atlanta, Georgia native, and he walked right in and shoveled it high past Alex Proctor. 6:03 remaining here in period number 1. 2-0 El Paso. Played deep, or sends it to the far side. Him and Kuwait played catch, and it's played forward to Good. Offside on the Rhinos. They tag back up, and chasing after it is Zolnik. Those goals separated by roughly a minute. We're going to check on the game summary sheet to see the official timing. As Hughes will send it to Yates, who fires one. Saved. Rebound was loosed after a pad save from Lenny. Hughes again keeps it alive on the near side wall. Devorny passes it to Good. He'll dangle away from the opposition. Hughes back to Good, and a shot saved by Lenny. This one will deflect high into the safety netting with 5:09 remaining here in period number 1. Neutral zone draw. Finn tangled up with a Rhino player. And stretching the play are the Rhinos as it's deep into Odessa territory. Fired around the stanchions. Finn plays it out of his own zone, only for Pfister to play it right back. Settled by Tallene. Played forward to Finn as he unfortunately had the puck knocked away from him. Dvorny launches it off the penalty box boards. It's played right back to the near side. Finn hit from man as well as number 18 who has the puck now, Ryan Williams. He's with it far side. He tries to split Finn and Tallene. Unsuccessful, and it's a save by Proctor. And Tallene takes down Williams after the whistle. And we'll see if anything comes of this. Tallene was the one that got table-topped earlier. This time it was by Bolina, actually. .426 remains here in period number 1. A minor call against Tallene, as his team is already short 7 guys. And now a Kenner Printing penalty kill ahead of them.
2 minutes holding. And the penalty is 16:34.
Pfister with it near side. This is a position the Jacks don't want to find themselves in, and a shot block by Kusler has the puck carry him all the way back out into the neutral zone. Down by 2 in the first period. Similar situation from yesterday, although there's still a lot of time left, and a power play for the Rhinos as they clear it deep and have to regroup. 1:30 left to go. Intercepting it is Kusler. He spins away from a hit from Kraus. Again, Odessa has the most shorthanded goals in the league with 8. They had 4 last weekend. Harris patiently waits. Pfister and him play catch. They turn it over to Kusler, who's trying to knife it out. He's brought down to the ice. It does go back up to the neutral zone and getting slashed from Kusler was number 19, Graham Harris. And these two teams, one of the closest to one another. Amarillo is only slightly closer to Odessa than El Paso is. For the Rhinos, at least, this is their closest opponent, next to New Mexico. Quittel with it. A right-handed forward. Picks up the loose puck, and he'll go from right to left with it. He has it back at the top of the point. Looking to do everything with it was Quittel. Gets a pass off, patiently waiting his horn. They send it into the right circle. Horn blasts one. That sails up and over the net. It's played back up top. And they fling it into the right corner. 2:45 left to go here in the first. With it is O'Neill. He gets around, and a shot saved by Proctor, who falls back on top of it to guarantee the whistle. With 14 seconds left on the penalty kill for Odessa. 2:39 left to go. That was the 11th shot for the Rhinos. Only 5 registered for the Jacks. Offensive zone draw for the Rhinos. They lose it, and it's dumped deep by Wojciechowski. Under 10 seconds left on the power play. And their first one of this evening for the Rhinos. Williams with it. Breaks it out from his own zone. He goes across the red, now the blue, and a shot reaches the end wall. It's backhanded out in front. The net is kicked off its pegs as we go back to even strength hockey. Offensive zone draw for the Rhinos. Shoveled out by Tallene, who just served 2 minutes, and that one will go icing against him, as he was unable to win the foot race against Tyler Pfister. So back the puck will go into the Jack zone, same circle as it was before, to the glove side of Alex Proctor. 2-0 Rhinos lead here from the Ector County Coliseum. In the 6 of 8 meetings between these two teams. Number 7 is tomorrow to conclude this 3-3 series. And the final one will be on New Year's Eve back here at the Ector County Coliseum. Sending it to Tallene was Hoyer. He'll head to the bench for a quick change. Tallene flips it deep. Stick to the wall by Lenny. Played dangerously back up top. Almost kept alive by Odessa. But the Rhinos have puck possession. And it's sent backhanded deep by Maxis Brumanis. Ward patiently sets up behind Proctor. We'll find Kuhn on the far side. And intercepting it are the Rhinos. Kosman maybe looking for a second here of the evening. Plays it out in front, and a big stretching kick save by Proctor as they try to go crease to crease on him. Swiping at that one was Kosman. The 2 goal scorers for the Rhinos out on the ice, Tefelsky and Kosman. Playing out in front, this one on a slap shot by Kraus makes it 3-0 Rhinos. And again, it's just the first of 3 periods here from the Jack Shack. 1:08 remaining in period number 1. Beating Proctor high on the glove side was Alex Kraus, the Dartmouth commit, for his 2nd of the weekend. 13 shots now for the Rhinos, still 5 for Odessa. 7 players out for the Jacks. But maybe we'll be able to get 2 back tomorrow. On top of that, 2 players playing in their first NAHL games, Zach Nichols and Ben Palmersheim. Losing a hand on it was Horn. Sent back out to the neutral zone by Odessa. Dvorny chops at it near side. Anderson with it into the right corner. He's pinned to the wall by Tallene. Harris plus one, saved by Proctor through the traffic and played out the other way. Entering first is Mansfield. He overskates it, gets a pass off, and it does tip right to Lenny, but he makes the save. Having to step up and rifle it out on a deflection was Wojciechowski with 25.4 seconds left to go here in the first. 6 shots now for the Jacks and 15 on the board for the Rhinos. Neutral zone draw. Palmersheim with some help wins it back to Wojciechowski. Maybe one last opportunity for a shot. They turn it over as they entered. And O'Neal will drape it deep into the left corner. Christian with it. Tries to put some sauce behind it to Wojciechowski. And they chip it off the glass and back out to the red line. Just 3 seconds left to go here in period number 1. As the horn sounds to end the first 20 minutes of 60 in regulation. A quiet building here at the Ector County Coliseum as their team trails heading into the first period intermission by a score of 3-0. It's the most goals in the first period for the Rhinos here in their inaugural season. They've found a lot of games in which they've scored 2. They lead where it matters, though, 3-0. Goals were scored by Tefelsky, Bo Kosman, and Alex Kraus. That entire line, the starters, the second line for the Rhinos, coming up big here in game number 2. We'll step aside for the first period intermission break here from the Ector County Coliseum. Again, thank you for tuning in on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube live channel, wherever you may be on this Friday night. As the Jacks have an uphill battle to climb for the second period at least. Hopefully they can have a scoring frenzy period of their own when things start back up here in about 17 to 18 minutes. Again, stay tuned. We'll be back with the start of the second period. 3-0 Rhinos lead. We're back with the start of the second period here from the Ector County Coliseum. Again, my name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 season. They currently have a big mountain to climb here for the next 20, if not 40 minutes, as they find themselves in a 3-0 deficit against the visiting El Paso Rhinos. This is game number 2 of 3 straight between these two teams here this weekend. Take you around the NAHL real quick. Notable games to keep your eyes on will be the Shreveport Mudbugs and Amarillo Wranglers. Mudbugs currently atop the Wranglers after the first period by a score of 2-0. Lone Star and New Mexico getting things underway in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Corpus Christi, after the first 20 minutes, is up 2-0 over Wichita Falls. And it obviously was going to be interesting to see how the Jacks were performing yesterday due to all the players out. Throw on the Jackalopes jersey, but you can quite clearly tell how much some of those scratched players are really needed out on the ice for this 3-3 series. They'll get 2 back tomorrow with Bankir and Ahern returning from suspension. And we'll have to wait and see if any return from injuries either at all tomorrow, if not next weekend, when the team that the Jacks are tied with currently in the South for second place, the New Mexico Ice Wolves, come to town for the first time this season. As for the Rhinos, that was their highest scoring first period in their inaugural season. Team switch ends of the ice for the middle period. Left to right go the Jacks, right to left go the Rhinos. 1 power play for each team back in that first period. Neither one converted on it. Goals scored by the entire second line of the Rhinos. Alex Cross, Bo Kosman, and Frank Tefelsky, all beating Alex Proctor. And if you remember back on home opening weekend, it was the first 3-3 series for the Jacks this season as the Yates Fires went into the opposition leg. The Jacks lost the first one in a shootout, the second one in regulation, and then won the third. They went 1-1, 0-1. With it is Williams. He overskated. And he sends it into the left corner. Retrieved by El Paso. They fire one high. Right near the right shoulder of Proctor, but he comes away with the save. 30 seconds into the second period. 15-6 are the shots to start. They put that one up to make it 16 now. It's been a heavy shooting game for El Paso. One thing that the Jacks certainly need to do, obviously, to find an answer is get the frozen rubber towards Letty in any means necessary. Duclair snaps it forward to Hoyer, who's being shielded by the defense. And the net will be knocked off its pegs as Hoyer was sent down to the ice. Carpenter appeared to have gotten his stick underneath Hoyer's skate. No call, and that's what led to Hoyer knocking the net off its pegs. And they're actually going to bring this all the way out for a neutral zone draw. Zelnick against Hoyer. The dot closest to us here on Hockey TV. O'Neill spins it back to the defense. And they snap it near side to Carpenter. Retrieved by Devorny on the far side. Michigan Tech University commit sends it along to Tallene, who brushes it deep. It does not get tipped past the red line or by a Rhinos player, so icing called this time against Odessa. As right now they have their second line of offense out there, as well as their top line defense. Proctor checking on some equipment right now. He has his mask off and his net. Maybe adjusting some straps on his leg pads. We're just over a minute gone here in the second period. The goals by Tefelsky and Kosman were only separated by 21 seconds. And I would have to go back and check the Rhinos' logs, but that might be the fastest 2 goals by them in their franchise's history. Again, this is their first season in the NAHL. Puck ricochets over to the near side, played out by Perdian. Duclair is with him, but unfortunately just a step ahead of Dvorny. As he takes a slash in the back of the leg from Owen Jinsky as they get tangled up after the whistle. Duclair was in the mix of things. Jacks need to make sure that they obviously keep the cooler of the heads between the two squads. Again, they are playing with a little bit of a beaten up roster right now. Having 2 guys coming in playing their first NAHL games. Not sure if we'll see them tomorrow with the likeliness of having Benkir and Ahern back in the lineup. From the neutral zone draw, one back. Christian lobs it deep, far side for Mansfield. He tries to have a quick touch pass to Kusler as it's pinned up against the L trim. The board battle is won by El Paso and played around to the near side. Begier in after it again, along the goal line. Retrieving it is Owen Jinsky. And Begier plays it to the far side. Stepping up on it was Wojciechowski. Begier behind the cage. Turns it out in front. It caroms off a skate into the crease as it's covered by Letty with just about 2 minutes gone here in period number 2. "16 shots for the Rhinos, 6 right now for the Jackalopes. Have yet to register a shot this period. Only one on the board here in the second for El Paso. On-man rush brewing for the Rhinos. They are unable to get any momentum going, and they turn it over to the Jacks. And they snap it near side to Nichols. Again, no nameplate for him or Palmershine. Palmershine with the cage. Poke checked by Kuet to keep playing back in the center ice as it's dumped deep for a change by the Rhinos. Palmersheim and Nichols held up against the near side boards. Kuet trying to help him out. Sent back and mishandling with it was Anderson. As Kuet and Palmersheim cross paths, they send it down low and try a backhander that sails up and over Proctor's net. That was off the stick of Nathan Mann. 3 minutes elapsed here in period number 2. Finally, the Jacks are able to clear their zone, desperate for a change. Kuet backhands it enough to get 5 new skaters out in white. Again, second period's a lot longer to make a change in than the first and third. That one actually catches a piece of equipment and reaches the safety netting in the Jack zone, so we have a halt to play. 7 shots registered on the board for your Jackalopes. 17, however, for the Rhinos. They lead 3-0. After the last few seasons of having some tough Jackalopes years, again, they had that COVID year. They had 9 wins. Last year they had 12. They're already past both of those with 14. Tied for second place. A New Mexico loss and a Jackalopes comeback here in this game will put them in sole possession of second. Or actually will put them in a tie for first if the Wranglers lose the Shreveport. And a shot reaches the back of the net from the horizontal angle towards the right of Lenny. Rings off iron. And it's the Jacks' first goal in the game thanks to Emerson Good. 3-1 Rhinos. 16-27 left to go here in period number 2. Only just their second shot of the second period. The net was knocked off, but well after the puck had crossed the goal line, it hit both posts, and the Carrots are flying here at the Jack Shack. Almost appeared to have caught a lot of players guessing on whether or not it had counted, but referee Jasnochi signaled quickly. Emerson Good through the handshake line first. Again, the Jacks all gathered together pretty quickly. I do believe it will be counted for him. Usually whoever goes through that line first is the goal scorer. Wait for the official calling over the PA system here from the announcer, or the PA announcer Andrew. But a great start to the opening 4 minutes of this second period as the Jacks are able to notch their first goal. Puck will be dropped back at the Jacks logo to restart the game after the Jacks put up their first goal. They trail now by a pair. And they do register it for Emerson Good. Tipped by Yates back out to the neutral zone as the Rhinos intercepted and launch it deep. Off the stick of Owenjins by Devorny, whacked that to the top of the right point, and sent deep by the Rhinos. Played near side. Coming away with it was Hughes. He dribbles back up top, but is kept alive momentarily. Jacks again unable to clear. Numbers the other way. They fire one, and getting a piece of it was Proctor. Just enough to make it go wide. Huge turn of events there, as it could have just went back up by a 3-goal lead. Tolene with a blast and a right kick save by Letty. Kraus put some muscle behind a backhander and sent it back to the center ice line. Rhinos playing off from their own zone. Proctor comes out the satellite behind his cage. Will play near side. 15-20 left to go here in the second period of 3. And then they have Horn waiting back. Duclair with the fires one. Catching it up high was Letty. No rebound to come. You're noticing that a little bit about El Paso over the last at least 6 games so far. They do like to kind of maybe cheat that line a little bit and trying to catch the Jacks on the defensive end, and especially with some new skaters out there and not having that extra defense to help them out. You have to be cautious of somebody saying Duclair almost from the offensive zone draw was able to get a shot off, and now breaking out the other way go the Rhinos. One sends it across for Zidalnik. He'll ride it into the far side corner where it sits to the left of Proctor. Rhinos come away with it, send it all the way back out between the defense, and they have to retouch. Anderson plays it forward to Horn, collecting it as Harris from the left circle. Diving out to negate a shooting and passing lane was Wojciechowski. And they send it all the way over to open ice on the near side. As retrieving it is Purdy, and falling down was the ref. It hits him, and a save by Proctor on Zelnick after Nochi went down. From left to right, the Jacks send it. Purdy with it. He passes it forward. Mansfield back out in front. Unfortunately, unable to get to it was Hoyard, and now numbers the other way for the Rhinos. They send it over to Horn. He fires one, saved by Proctor. Puck is retrieved by Odessa. Picked up by Kuet. Will surge the other way. Tries to leave it for Mansfield. He's angled away from the frozen rubber, and will glide back out to center ice. Kuet rifles one deep. Chasing after it is Mansfield. He'll go toe-to-toe with Anderson. And the Rhinos come away with it again. A breakout for them if they can hurry. Great defensive play by the Jacks on the back end by Ord to negate that shooting opportunity, and offside is called against the Rhinos with 13:37 left to go here in period number 2. Emerson Good gets his 9th NAHL goal. Slowly playing it is Tallene. He gets some air under it and will dribble into the left corner. On the far side is Devorny. He's taken down. He doesn't like that as him and a Rhino player are met right in front of El Paso's bench. They still are hacking away, and at the top of the crease and coming away with the save is Proctor. And no rebound to come. 13-14 left to go here in the middle frame. Offensive zone draw for El Paso. They win it. Top of the right circle. And a shot is picked right off by Christian, who tried to send it along to Emerson Good. It was intercepted by the Rhinos as they go the other way. And a shot punched to the glass by Proctor. Kraus comes away with it. He's directly behind Alex Proctor. We'll leave it for Cosman. Again, that second line that started for the Rhinos in this game number 2. And turnover leading the charges. Yates, he's 1-on-1. He shoots and scores! From the bench of his seat, makes it 3-2 El Paso. Back-to-back goals now for the Jackalopes on a breakaway tally from Rylan Yates. What a celebration that was for the California native. He gets his 5th NAHL goal. Smart poke check from Yates right at the red line, and he went forward with it as quick as he could as he was being followed by 3 Rhino players. Was able to get a shot off, and he didn't miss, beating Letty with the Jacks' 2nd goal of the game. They now have doubled their shot totals. And we are just a little over 7 minutes into this period. 21 shots for the Rhinos, 12 now for the Jacks. Puck is dropped once again at the logo, and momentum heavily in favor of Odessa as they send it from left to right. Quick touch passing over to Duclair from Hoyer. Duclair, a low shot through the blue paint out the other way. Pernian fires one. It will sit there. It's batted out of midair. Settled down and dribbles through, and Lenny knocks the net off as he was dropping down to a spread eagle save. Complete pressure is now coming from the Jacks. And this is the team that, again, most people are used to seeing. Certainly a lot different with those players out, but every team throughout the season is going to have a fair share of injuries and players down to illness. Shreveport was one of those last weekend with some players out, especially backup goaltender as well. They stay onside. Thinking it was offside was Mann as he waited about 2 seconds to shoot the puck after looking at the linesman. Sent it out to the yellow trim on the far side. It's caught up in sticks and skates. Almost getting to it was Mansfield. It will be possessed by Orr as he just dumps it out, and out the other way go the Jacks. Mansfield fires one, caught in and out though from Letty. Kusler with it. Will blast one through traffic. Mansfield tries to send it out into the front, and the net is knocked off its pegs. 11:38 left to go here in the second period. 16 shots for the Jacks, 21 for the Rhinos. Odessa slowly inching their way back into this hockey game. A shot from Tallene, saved, no rebound from Lenny, and we'll have another offensive zone draw for Odessa. And this is, again, as I was stating earlier, getting pucks towards Lenny. The big talking point, I'm sure, head coach Scott Dewar was driving home during that first period intermission to his team. Just telling them to keep getting the rubber onto Lenny by any means necessary. They now have 17 shots. 11 so far in this period as we have 11:30 left to go in it. Rhinos finished the first period with 15 shots. Across to the far side, and it's Plain. Stepping up was DeVorney. Almost batting out now in midair was Finn. And it will go all the way back out. Chasing after it is Palmershine. He goes toe-to-toe with Miles. Miles fires one, and it actually caromed awkwardly, but keeping his eye on the loose puck was Proctor for the whistle. Yesterday, again, the Rhinos scored 2 straight. Jacks scored 2 straight. And then the Rhinos finished with 2 straight of their own. So momentum can certainly be a big factor here as Yates gets around the defense, but the puck will go all the way into the right corner. Played out by El Paso all the way down. Kuwait will be able to get this one for an icing call against the Rhinos. When leading after the first, El Paso is 6-2 now. And when trailing after the first, Odessa is 500 at 3-3. They find themselves only down by 1 to a team that is in sole possession of 6th place. Oliginski fires one all the way out. Picked off by Orr, who has to dance around a Rhino player and a linesman, and waiting was Horn. He fires one wide of Proctor. Once again, waiting right at the Jacks blue line was Jonathan Horn. And there he goes again. He's set up all the way in front of his own bench and actually catches a Rhino player on the bench, so whistle is blown. The Jacks have to look out for number 14 from Southbury, Connecticut. He's been picking that Jacks blue line, not just tonight, but also yesterday as well. And that can really cost teams, too, on breakaway opportunities. They actually decide to drop the puck at the center ice logo. No goal has been scored. It's 3-2 El Paso with under 10:30 left to go here in the second period. It's basically a complete 180 from the first period for Odessa. Sweeping that one deep was John Christian. Abruptly stops to the right of Lenny, playing back up top. Plenty of ice now for Purdy. He fires one trying to pick the top corner, and it went high and wide. Duclair battling hard on the far side. He'll drape it into the corner for Hoyer. Purdy to Duclair. He fires and actually catches the outside of the net, and a lot of the fans here guessing it went in. Play continues on the far side of the Rhino zone. Great defensive play. On the backhand by Wojciechowski with that hand-eye coordination. As it's sent around to the near side. Kraus with it. Realizing he has some open ice, he'll fling it deep. Getting around a man was Kosman. It sits loose for Tefelsky, and he was never able to get a shot off. It will elude the Rhinos and gets worked back out to the neutral zone. Chasing after it's Duclair. He finds Purdy. Long stretch pass across the ice. Does not connect with Kusler. And changes coming on the fly for Odessa. as Bremanis was waiting patiently at the blue line. He tips this now, so no icing against the Rhinos. And it's lobbed off the glass and out to Manfield. They'll touch it up for Kusler. He's got Begier with him across from Manfield. And he tried to send it back. It got blocked down in front. Tall lead, near side, top of the point. He sends it from high to low. Mansfield battling against two Rhinos players. And he's angled away from the puck, and it's sent out. Again, trying to spring Bremanis were the Rhinos. Mansfield on the far side. Tries a backhander out in front. Tall lead comes up to try to attempt a shot. And having it poked right off his blade was Ben Palmershine. Shot from the red line goes wide from Devorny. A lot of pressure coming from the Jacks here in this middle period. They trail 3-2. Almost getting a piece of it was Nichols. He overskated it by about just a fraction. 8:15 left to go here in period number 2. 3-2 Rhinos lead. 23 shots for them, 17 for your Jacks. They had trouble playing it out by Couette. Left side, a shot catches the glass on the far side. And it's sent deep by the Rhinos. Couette with it. Is it back to the near side? Will get another opportunity to play it forward to Nichols. He'll get around a man and loses it at the red line. His first line is out there for the Jacks. Finn, Palmersheim, and Nichols. Sent around to the far side. Played forward by Finn. Couette with it. Gains the red line and dumps it deep. Changes coming defensively now for the Jacks as O'Neill has it near side for the Rhinos. He's past the red line. No pivot. Turned it over. Hughes. He'll find Good. He's got a man behind him, and his shot is saved by Letty. Broken up in the left circle. Jabs back out to the neutral zone and played deep by Odessa. They were past the red line, so no icing. As it's launched around again, they had a waiting Harris this time at the Jacks' blue line. You can tell that El Paso certainly does love to put that extra player all the way up top. And it could cost them if the Jacks are able to pick it up and have numbers the other way. Yates will sail it back into the neutral zone. Carpenter sends it across to his defensive partner. And it caroms high into the air. It's finally pancaked down by Harris and whipped deep. Proctor to Christian. Wojciechowski had trouble settling the puck. Plays it up top and is kept alive. 6:30 left to go here in the second period. Carpenter pitches up. He sends it to Cosman. Out in front, blocked by Duclair. And out the other way, the Jacks go with a burst of speed. No one's going to catch Duclair. He's in on the far side, and Hughes unable to get a shot off. Another long stretch pass from zone to zone. Doesn't connect from El Paso, as this time it was Krause. Walking the Jacks' blue line on the near side. Anderson with it. Fires one tipped to the opposite corner by Tofelski. Proctor really slow to get back to two skates, as it appeared that he collided with a Rhino player. And now a El Paso player down below the goal line, I think also on top of the puck, so that will also draw a whistle. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the second period. Yeah, there's yourself some media timeout. And just under 6 minutes left to go here at the Jack Shack in period number 2. El Paso in their inaugural season with a record of 10-10-2 with 22 points. They find themselves in 6th place with a road record of 3-6, and they were 5-4-1 in their last 10. The Jacks are 5-4-0-1 in their last 10 games, and had their 3-game win streak broken last night in a 4-2 loss to the Rhinos. It's a neutral zone draw right in front of El Paso's bench. that heavy scoring line. The second line for the Rhinos out there for this draw. Kraus, Kosman, and Tefelsky, all with goals for El Paso here this evening in game number 2. Kraus the only one with 2 so far for the Rhinos here in this 3-3 series. It concludes tomorrow at 7:15, and now numbers if they can hurry. Duclair's offside this time again. Frustrated with that as, again, he's trying really hard to stretch it out and keep that back skate on the blue line. As Purdy was coming along the right wing wall on the near side. Neutral zone draw. Same lines out there. Hoyer up against Kosman. Furthest away from the Jacks bench. Hoyer wins it back. Tallene at the red line. Sends it deep. And it's paddled over to the corner by Letty. Played all the way out by the Rhinos. Settled down by Tallene. They'll snap it forward to Pernian. We're playing out to the neutral zone. We'll get around him. Hoyer with it. Right-handed shot. He plays it across. Duclair gets one off. It's loose. And off the outside of the net, it will sit. It was trapped in that mesh area. And that protective part at the bottom around the bar. Might have been a wraparound opportunity for the Jacks. Unfortunately, again, they couldn't find the loose puck. 5:12 left to go here in the second period. The shots are much closer, 23-18 in favor of the visiting El Paso Rhinos. Christian with it. Forehand, fires it deep. Bezier sends it low. He gets it back in the left circle, twisting and turning with it. He fires one, saved by Letty. But the rebound is picked back up by Odessa. Christian tries to knife it across. Big numbers for the Rhinos going the other way. Brianna's with it, tucks the shoulder. They tried to force their way through the crease, and it's picked off by the Jacks. Mansfield goes the other way. He's far side, one man in, leaves it back for Kusler. A Rhino player without his stick, and over stick handling with it was Kusler, as off to the races goes a Rhino player. He fires one that goes well wide of Proctor's net. And as he comes out now to play it behind his cage to Wojciechowski. They find Palmer Shine. He'll be able to exit the zone. Couette now has to do it once more. 4:15 left to go here in period number 2. Jacks have scored 2 straight after allowing 3 unanswered in the first period by El Paso. Whacking at it is Nichols as well as Couette. O'Neal near side. He fires one well wide to the left of Proctor. And a shot from the right side, broken up, and almost a rebound there for the Rhinos. Proctor without his paddle, as El Paso has it on the far side. Picked up by the Rhinos. They have it in the right circle, and a shot block out in front. Another one fought off from the top. Players are tangled up towards the left of Proctor. He has Couette stick with him. He's actually just going to leave it back as it's dumped deep by the Jacks. You don't see that too often as Proctor finally picks up his twig. Long stretch pass will connect to Horn as he races after it against Tallene in the near side corner. 3:10 left to go here in the middle period. 3-2 Rhinos lead here in game 2 of the 3-3 series. And numbers hurrying the other way for the Jacks. Good with it, far side to Hughes. Will dangle with it, send it to Good. He blasts one, save it, kicked right back out to Good. Unable to get a secondary shot off and out the other way. Horn goes, my apologies, and his shot will find the logo of Proctor's jersey. And no rebound to come with 2:45 remaining here in the middle period. 26 shots for El Paso, 20 for your Jacks. Offensive zone draw for the Rhinos. That second line out there is the one that started tonight's game. Odessa with puck possession. They quickly turn it over to Cosman. They fire one into a block shot from Dvorny. And that one hits friendly fire from Anderson to Cosman. Colleen comes away with it. Shovels it up top, kept alive by the Rhinos. As they send it deep below the goal line of the Jack zone. Cosman stick handling with it near side. Sends it over to the Dartmouth commit, Kraus. 2:15 left to go here in the middle period. 3 Jacks staring in the left corner. No whistle blown by Chaz Nochi yet. I don't quite know why it's taking this long. The puck hasn't moved in quite some time. It's still held up against the wall. This has been nearly 20 seconds, 25 seconds now. I mean, when it went into that corner, there was about 2:15 left on the clock. There's now 1:49. It was just held there. I don't think he was ever planning to blow it, but a lot of time wasted on the clock here in the second period. After that puck had not moved in quite some time, usually they give it about close to 10 seconds, but they were going on 25 plus seconds of it just sitting in the corner. Fans wanted play to continue on. It will have to be redropped in the dot, and it's brushed all the way across to Duclair. And launches it all the way into one of the section areas here. Everybody is okay. Again, you got to make sure you keep your head on a swivel just like the players do. Neutral zone draw right in front of the Rhinos bench. Getting it near side is Christian. Just past the rim. He'll dump it deep. Polina gets it from Hoyer below the goal line on the far side, and they will be able to connect it to Harris. He's being pestered and whacked at. He gets a shot off, and a huge save by Proctor as he reaches the splits with 1:24 left to go in the second. Keeping his team within one here in game number 2. Puck was dribbled back up top. Mansfield will retrieve it. He's got Begier with him. They'll send it into the corner for Begier to go after it. Kusler joins in the fray. Kuwait with it. As a man out in front, he finds Kusler, and unfortunately his scoring shot opportunity was blocked. Orr's blast from the left point. Caroms over to the left side. Kusler in after it now in the left corner. And kicking along, gets a late hit from Williams. Went with it, near side, top of the right point. He fires one into the opposition as it's settled down and dumped deep by Orr. Remanis again making that change quickly as the Rhino player just at the top of the Jacks point. Offside are the Odessa Jackalopes. They have to regroup. With it on the far side, though, is Mann, as he tries to enter first. And we'll glide back out to the neutral zone. Now 10 seconds left to go here in the middle period. 3-2 Rhinos lead here in game number 2. And sent all the way back by the Jacks. This will just about do it. Icing unable to be called before the horns sound. 2 straight goals here in period number 2 for the Jacks to pull them within one of the visiting El Paso Rhinos to make for a very interesting and nail-biting third and final period here in the middle of the 3-3 series. We'll step aside. 28 shots for the Rhinos, 20 for the Jacks. 14 shots in this period for your Jackalopes, as the Rhinos registered 13 of their own, but they were stopped by Proctor as he had to stand and also sprawl out a lot and made some remarkable saves during that second period. We'll be back in about 17, 18 minutes here from the Ector County Coliseum with the third period between the Rhinos and the Jackalopes. back onto the ice are these two teams here for game number 2. The third period just about a minute away from commencing here from the Ector County Coliseum located in Odessa, Texas. The Jacks find themselves trailing once again to start this third period of the 3-3 series between them and the Rhinos. Yesterday, though, it was 2-1 after 40 minutes, and Brendan Finn was able to tie it. Only shortly after, the Rhinos scored 2 straight, separated by a minute and 13 seconds. And the Jacks, even with Proctor pulled, were unable to convert on a 6-on-5 opportunity and wound up with their 8th loss here this season. They're still tied for second with New Mexico, who is currently leading the Brahmas by a score of 1-0. Shreveport actually has notched one more goal in the second period. They lead the Wranglers 3-0, so that bodes well for the Jacks so far. And Corpus is up on the Warriors 2-1 in the third period. Shots in this one now, 28-20 in favor of the Rhinos. They also, again, lead where it matters in goals. They have 3, your Jackalopes have 2. It's been 2 straight for Odessa. They had a fantastic second period, a complete 180 from where they were at to start this game. Back in the first period, they had 14 shots, which is the most for them so far here in the 3-3 series. Puck has been dropped. Period number 3 is finally underway. This is the highest scoring Jacks, as Good races in along the left wing wall. It's pitchforked out by the Rhinos, settled down by Tefelski. They say onside, and he loses it. Getting high stick was Hughes. Tefelski, the guilty party, and it looks like Hughes. We'll see if he's drawing any blood. They're going to check it out. I think it's just going to be for 2. High sticking is called. Jersey Mike's man advantage for the Jacks. And interestingly enough, only, again, 4 minor penalties combined yesterday across a 60-minute span. So far, there's only been 3, and we're in the third period. 19:36 left to go in it. An opportunity for the Jacks to tie things up on this power play that's been struggling lately. They are right now 22nd overall out of 29 teams at 15.4% success rate. Couette with it, trying to create some open ice. As this team has 1 extra man on it. Hoyer couldn't get a pass off as the puck was wobbling on him, and it's launched deep for Proctor to settle things up behind his own net. The penalty kill for the Rhinos puts them in third at 86.9%. With it is Couette. Couette sends it near side to Hoyer, who drops it back to Duclair, and he's got no one at the blue line. And now rotate back up top for Permian. We'll drape it down low for Duclair. It's slapped around and actually deflects back all the way out into the Jack zone. Unable to keep it alive was Orr. New power play unit out on the ice for Odessa. 18:35 left to go here in the period. 60 seconds left. On Tefelski's 2-minute minor for high sticking. Dvorak sets up Tallene on the far side. Players come together towards the left of Lemmy below the goal line. We saw about 25 seconds back in the second period at the tail end where the puck was just held up against the yellow trim. Once again, it looked like that they weren't going to blow the whistle, but they finally did. Coming away from the board battle are the Jacks with the puck. Tallene sets it up, gets a pass back, quickly touches it to Dvorak in the left circle, and his shot deflects high and out of play. Just over 2 minutes gone here in period number 3. .23 seconds left of power play time. As they send on 5 new skaters. Some new legs in black and orange for the Rhinos. Kusler to take it for your Jacks, as he goes up against Alexei Kyra for the draw. They sweep it back up top to Wojciechowski, as he feeds it to Mansfield. Now to Wojciechowski from the Bud Light logo. To the right circle, they fire one. It deflects high and over Lenny's net. Sent back up top to Mansfield. He's being pressured. He'll send it all the way around the yellow trim. And it's played all the way out by the Rhinos on the kill. That is now finally over for them as we go back to 5-on-5 hockey. Wojciechowski just jabs it forward out to center ice. And numbers if they can hurry for the Jacks. They twist and turn, they get a shot off. It's caught up between the circles, and the rebound was covered up by Letty, and he gets the whistle. Lenny has not won back-to-back games since November 6th and November 12th. One of them, again, was that 3-1 victory against the Jacks. The other was a game against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays where he allowed 2 goals and had 38 saves. Offensive zone draw for Odessa. Near side circle in the Rhino zone. One back up top, or we'll send it deep below the goal line. Far side, getting to it first is Palmershine. Now near side for Finn. He's held up in the left corner. Trying to track it is Nichols. He gets a pass off to Finn. He'll play it back up top for Orr. He'll fire one right into the boot of Palmershine, and Finn's shot flutters high and into the safety netting for a whistle. Now just over 3 minutes gone here in the third. Jacks still adding to that offensive pressure. Unfortunately, a lot of their shots are being deflected and blocked. They have 2 shots here this period. 0 on the board for the Rhinos. Both teams average close to 30 shots a game. Rhinos at 31. Jacks at 29. Shots yesterday were 35-30 in favor of the Rhinos. Quickly played out by Quintel. Wiping out was Orr. And overskating it and then wiping out on his own was Donovan O'Neill. Few players losing the edge during that process as it's played across to the left corner, and a low shot goes through the crease and out the other way. Another Rhino player wipes out. That was Zelnick. They turn it over on an opportunity to clear it. A shot was saved by Proctor, and they do get a pass off to Duclair from Orr. Duclair fires a low shot, paddled to the far side wall by Lenny, and it's dumped all the way out by the Rhinos. Icing is called. 16:02 left to go here in the final period of regulation of a 3-2 El Paso lead. They have 29 shots now, 23 for Odessa. The Jacks are home again next weekend as well, as they will host the New Mexico Ice Wolves for the Ice Wolves' first trip here to the Jack Shack. Odessa and New Mexico tied for second place out of the South Division. Devorny with it. Forehand shot off the end wall. Retrieved by El Paso and played near side. And we'll trickle all the way down for Tallene to set things up. Tallene to Devorny. It is tipped off the paddle of Lenny. Icing is waved off. Good with it near side. It's kicked back up top to Devorny with a lot of open room. He fires one. Caught and no rebound by Letty. Changes coming for both sides. For this offensive zone draw for your Odessa Jackalopes. John Christian, Wojciechowski on defense. Mansfield, Kusler, and Begier. The 3 forwards. It rattles high off a the stanchion actually went up and out of play. Everybody appears to be okay. A puck and a souvenir for a lucky fan here at the Ector County Coliseum. We'll drop the puck from the same dot as it was just a few seconds ago. One back this time, Mansfield. And a shot never left the ice surface, and it's played out to the near side by the Rhinos. A burst of speed and a slap shot from Bolina, right forward high and wide. It's cleared out and actually catches something in the Jacks bench. So that will bring a halt to play. Going into today's game, the Jacks had scored 15 goals against this Rhino squad. El Paso has scored 14 against the Jacks. It's been a very tight games. The last two have been separated by 2 goals. There's also been some separated by 1. The largest was a 3-goal game, which was the first meeting. It was 5-2 in favor of the Jacks. Played near side to a winning Fister. He sends it north. Tipping it was Harris. Picked up by Kusler. He'll turn on the Jets. He'll get a shot off as he wipes out in the right corner, and delayed call against El Paso as the Jacks will head right back to the man advantage. Their third Jersey Mike power play of the evening as Jonathan Horn is the guilty party. 14:36 left to go. Here in period number 3, another opportunity for the Jacks to do something with a man advantage. But the Rhinos again in the top 3 in penalty kill. They don't make it easy. Cross-checking is the call. Puck is dropped, or will be dropped momentarily towards the left of Lenny. Worked over to the far side wall and sent all the way out. Chasing after it now is Orr on the far side. Will fire it near side to Couette as they cross paths behind Proctor. Send it to the right wing. They lose a hand on it, and it's played out. Getting to it will be Proctor as he comes out. Kosman applying some forecheck momentarily. 1:35 left to go on the man advantage. 14:05 left to go here in the period. 3-2 El Paso leads. Sent near side to Orr. He tried to feed Purdy in, and it's punched out all the way back into Jack's territory. 5 skaters out in white. 4 skaters in black. Power play opportunity. The third of the game for Odessa. Unable to clear it, and they send on a new power play unit as Proctor will settle it down behind his own net. Dvorny with a quick touch pass from Yates. Hughes is in after it left side. He's held against the end wall. He's receiving help from Good. They get away. Good. Trying to create something out of nothing. He creates open ice now. Sauces it near side to Dvorny. Dvorny drapes it down low. It ricochets off the blade of Yates. They have trouble playing it, and it's slapped out by El Paso. 13:05 now left to go here in period number 3, and under 30 seconds left on the Jersey Mike's man advantage. Tallene sends it to Dvorny across the red line, now the blue stripe, and he fires it deep. Carpenter sends it out the other way as he cleared it 200 feet. They send all new skaters, under 10 seconds left on the power play before we go back to even strength. Maybe one last opportunity to set up as they send it back to Tallene. Back to 5-on-5 hockey we go. Horn out of the box, touches the puck, and will remain out on the ice. As intercepting it at the red line was Christian. They tried to spring Horn again for maybe a breakaway. He's been riding that Jack's blue line all game long. Played to the half wall on the near side. Tip it back out to the neutral zone for Christian to play it. And he'll just dump it deep. In pursuit of it is Mansfield. Kusler will glove it down and send it low. Paddled to the wall by Letty. And Carpenter will just look to hold it against the boards. And out the other way with it is Tefelsky, as it catches a piece, I believe, of Wojciechowski, and he sends it the other way. Begier uses a handle on it. It's retrieved on the far side. Begier comes away, a hard-fought battle, and his shot goes wide of Letty. Orr steps up, fires one and two. Begier. And they quickly play it near side to Tefelsky. He turns it over, or sends it out the other way. Chasing after it is Nick Justice. 11:20 left to go here in regulation. Finn trying to get a pass off. He momentarily broken up, but the Rhinos regain possession of the puck and send it along to the near side for Tefelsky. He will gain the red line and dump it deep. Retrieved by Mann and a shot saved by Proctor. No rebound to come. Of the few shots, and actually only their second registered for El Paso, 9 minutes into the final period of regulation. The Jacks have 4 registered. They trail 3-2. On the offensive zone draw, they twist one towards Proctor, who covers it up for another offensive zone draw for the Rhinos. Draws to the glove hand of Proctor. Sent back up top. Pfister is near side with it. And they drape it into the Jacks near side corner. And it's spun back to the half wall for Duclair. We'll find Horde across the red line. He's got Perning with him on the far side and actually ricocheted off a skate and picking it up his man on the far side. He'll be tracked down by Duclair. He'll bank it off the end wall to Devorny. Devorny has options across. He sends it off the bench boards. Knifing on it was Pernian, and he gets on his high horse to apply for Checo and Pfister. He bodies him against the boards behind Letty. Going the other way with it is Bremanis. A shot out in front, sticked aside on the rebound. Great defensive work there by Hughes. Swiping at that one and getting a piece of it was Wojciechowski. Will settle it down, goes across the red and now the blue. He's got options behind him. Wojciechowski fires one that goes wide of Letty's net. As Hughes will send it below the goal line. Again, pinned up against the boards. Killing more time off the clock. Under 9:45 left to go here in the third. 3-2 Rhinos lead. Puck is yet to move. It finally squirts loose off the board back up top. It's out in front. They score! From the top of the crease, it's Ryan Yates with his second of the night. It's the 3-3. He's in the hard-fought areas, which is right around that crease. Typically referred to as the garbage goals because, again, you're going to have to throw a lot at that netminder. And he was in prime positioning to deposit the frozen rubber into the empty 4x6 as Letty was nowhere to be found on that loose rubber. 9:31 remains here in a tied game in the third period. 25 shots for the Jacks, 31 for the Rhinos. Talking to head coach Scott Dewar prior to puck drop here this evening and talking about how you get goal scorers like Begier and Finn yesterday, obviously not among the top goal getters for the Jacks. Again, Finn notched his first NAHL goal yesterday, and Begier now has 2 in his rookie season here in the North American Hockey League. But I kind of talked a little bit with Scott how important it is to see these top scorers kind of spark some life into the Jacks roster and get on the board. That was prior to Yates' second goal. It was his first one since October 28th. He now has 2 here tonight to make things a 3-3 game as they're looking for more. Orr's shot blocked by Zelnick, who has it on the far side. He'll send it along to Miles, who loses a hand on it. Being pestered is Kuet by Miles. He'll twist one over to Orr. He'll pirouette away from danger. As now Bezier looks to maybe take a play out of the Rhinos' book as he was kind of patiently waiting at El Paso's blue line. It's tackled up in the left corner. And what the Jacks have to do is make sure that they can keep momentum on their side as a shot out in front is saved by Proctor. And no rebound to come, and a little extracurricular afterwards. I think Miles and Orr just got tangled up. I believe Orr is apologizing as well. All appears to be squared after that. As Orr ended up on top of Miles. 3-3. 32 shots for the Rhinos, 25 for your Jackalopes. 8:37 remains here in regulation. Yates with 6 goals now, 16 points total for him in his rookie NAHL season. He's had the last 2 for Odessa to tie things up. As I was saying, this is the highest scoring period for the Jacks out of the 3. They enter this third period +7, 31 goals for, 24 goals against. The Rhinos, this is their second worst period. The second period is their worst and continues to be as they let in 2 goals in that middle period. It all started with Emerson Good. It was 3 straight goals all in the first period by the same line for the Rhinos. Since then, it's been 3 unanswered for Odessa. These teams love to kind of just go back and forth with momentum. Again, 2 straight yesterday by El Paso, followed up by 2 straight for Odessa, finished with 2 straight from the Rhinos to make it a 4-2 victory for the visiting team in Game 1 of the 3-game series. Pauline, far side, trying the knife at it. It won't break up loose for Duclair, and he might be able to get around Carpenter. He angled him enough away from the play, and waiting at the red line was Tefelsky. Pernian gets away with the puck momentarily, and on one knee is Cosman. I'm not sure if he lost the blade, and he did. He has to hobble back, and a blast from Duclair ricochets wide. Cosman without a skate blade. It's played right in front of him as he's trying to make a change, and it's cleared all the way over into the left corner. His blade remains, actually I think one of the officials, Poe has it in his right hand as he has it held up for offside against the Rhinos. Play continues on from the near side. Icing is waved off back the other way. 7:30 left to go here in regulation. Settled down defensively by Olenjinski and playing from left to right. Is getting to it is Horn. He's leveled by Wojciechowski. Christian will twist one into the right corner. And he brush it from low to high. Belina across. Olenjinski fires one. Catches a piece of something and stayed away from Proctor's net. Down low with it are the Rhinos. Just when things were tied up in the third yesterday, it was 2 goals separated by 1:13 for El Paso as Finn tries to negate a shot from Harris. In doing so, the puck is played back up top and out by the Jacks. As gaining the red line for a dumping change was Zach Nichols. Chasing after it was Finn. Hughes with him. Again, Horn well behind Kuet, trying to cherry pick the red line for the Rhinos. That has certainly been their mantra here through 2 games. Bodies colliding deep in the right corner of the Jack zone. The puck pops loose for Kuet, who will send a lead pass just past the stick of Yates. He's got 2 goals under his belt, looking for more. With it is Good. Shovels it near side to Orr. And the puck will glide into the left corner. 6:05 remaining here in the third period. A stick is lodged into that Zamboni door. Back in the Rhino zone. Behind the right shoulder of Letty. The Rhino player had to head right to the bench as it's played from right to left from the Jacks territory. Out to center ice. They fire on a low shot saved by Letty. He doesn't keep play on as he gets a whistle to halt play. There's a little gap in that door where the Zamboni comes out, and that is where the stick is lodged at. The Rhino player was unable to grab a hold of it, and instead of wasting more time trying to grab it, he just headed right to the bench. They do retrieve it now intact. That was number 8, Jack Anderson. .5:40 remaining here in the third. A 3-3 score. 34 shots for the Rhinos, 27 for your Jacks. Draws to the glove side of Letty. They went all the way back up top, but past the outreach stick of Tallene. He was able to get to it in time and send it back to the neutral zone. There's only been one game between these two teams that exceeded 60 minutes. And that was a 3-2 victory in overtime for the Jacks. And what took a little bit of a delay back in El Paso to call a goal. The puck is played to the right of Proctor, into the corner. Swiping at it was Kusler. Getting to it now is Tallene. He'll shovel it near side from his backhand to Mansfield. He'll play it out to Kusler. He's got Bezier with him. Kusler having trouble playing it, and they turn it over to a waiting Olenjinski. Under 5 left to go here in the third. Olenjinski with it, fires one right, kick saved by Proctor. And played forward to Mansfield. Mansfield has Wojciechowski breaking in, out in front, and shot bounces up and off the top of the net. And right in front of the end wall. El Paso with it, going the other way. It's poke check to the far side. Bezier unable to clear. Jacks get another chance at it. They send it out of their own zone. And dangling around the opposition were the Rhinos. They fire one right into the left glove. That's caught out of midair by Proctor for the whistle. He has been so stout between the pipes. Again, some goals I'm sure he would love to have had back in that first period. Right now he's got 33 saves under his belt. He had 31 at the conclusion of yesterday's game. Draw to the blocker side of Proctor. His right, our left. One aggressively to the near side for Duclair, who tries to get around man. They are offside, but about a second or two into the offensive zone were the Jacks before the whistle was blown. So the puck will be brought back out to the near neutral zone dot. And with so much speed that Duclair possesses, the rest of his team, as they try to break in, have to be cautious again of his speed. They send it back up top to Kuwait. He fires one. Hits off the end wall and the back of the net. Chipping at it was Duclair. It comes away for the Rhinos. They snap it near side to Bremanis. Guarding him is Ort. Fires off the end wall, turning and firing a shot. That's saved by Proctor. Was Williams. Back up top to the left point. Shot flutters wide. They try another one that deflects back out to center ice. And clearing it was Carpenter right onto Proctor's net. 3:30 left to go here in the third. Long stretch pass as well ahead of the play was Yates. In the complete other zone. He wasn't at the blue line yet. I think he was turning back. Well, that was well offside, and it was also an icing call regardless. So puck is brought back into the Jack zone. Again, still a lot of time left. It says 3:21, but it's going to feel like an eternity for both of these teams. Still fighting for positioning in the South. A win here will put the Jacks over 30 points. As I was saying earlier, over the last few seasons, 60 has basically been the benchmark to reach a playoff spot. So they'd be halfway there with more than half the season left. A loss will possibly keep him tied for second, depending on the Lone Star game against New Mexico. As Amarillo, last I checked, was still losing 3-0 to Shreveport. And a shocking upset that would be, as the Jacks swept Shreveport last weekend. Again, any game could be different than the last, as Hughes. Fancy dangle gets a shot off. It is caught and saved by Letty, as he dekes around one man but could not beat Letty to give what would have been the Jacks their first lead of the game. 2:34 remains here in the third period. Tied at 3 apiece. Shots favor the visiting Rhinos, 36-29. They've had 8 shots this period. The Jacks have had 9. Offensive zone draw. Kusler to take it for Odessa. They send it back up top to Devorny. The shot in front is tipped wide of Letty. Over to the right corner it will be played. Retrieving it is Cosman. And to seal his body up against the wall was Devorny. And the Rhinos have it. Getting to it will be Devorny. They'll send it along the yellow trim all the way back out to Mansfield at the red line. He's got Bezier with him. He'll leave it for him. Bezier slides it out in front and just rolls past Mansfield. And Rhinos trying to go the other way with it. Kraus with it. Fires one. Kick saved by Proctor. Over to the far side it will be played. And shoveled all the way up and out by Kusler. And now Kyra will drop it back to Kraus. Through traffic. Deflects over to the far side. And they play it near side to Duclair. He has Hoyer with him at one side this time. Duclair with a lot of room. He fires one, saved by Letty. Rebound is possessed by Duclair again, and he chops it back up top to Wojciechowski. And let it bounce right over his tape as he clears from the red line. 1:15 remaining here in regulation. Wiping out was a Rhino player. Duclair gains possession. Sends it back up top to Wojciechowski. Across from right to left. Duclair left circle. And again, have to be cautious here. And now numbers for the Rhinos. This is exactly what I was saying. Quattel gets it off. Horn across. Waiting patiently, never getting a shot off was Harris as Christian goes the other way. He finds Pernian, who lost a handle on it and never got anything off. 40 seconds left to go here in the third. Horn with it. They'll leave it for Quattel. Quattel turns it right over to John Christian, who flutters it all the way deep for an icing call with 32 seconds remaining. They might adjust it. It says 31 seconds by the time the clock operator finally stopped it. And Poe, the linesman, actually goes over to talk to him. He might add an extra second on the clock. If not, it will just remain 31 seconds flat here in the third period. A huge comeback so far. 31 seconds away from both teams getting a point. Draw one, fired, saved, jabbed at, sent all the way back up top, kept alive by Pfister. His shot goes wide. The shot hits off the glass, goes all the way back up top to the point, sent deep by the Rhinos as they're mounting a lot of pressure. 18 seconds left. A shot sails up and over Proctor's net. He gets wiped out in the process. It's knifed back up top. Jacks unable to clear their zone. It's sitting loose and they scored! Oh no, with 5.9 seconds left into the third period. About 2 or 3 unsuccessful clears from the Jacks. As all Proctor can do is just sit. Unfortunate for the Jacks, they had to come back within reach. And it was just an onslaught of pressure from the Rhinos. You could sense that something was brewing. .9 seconds left. There is maybe a hope of one shot off. They win the draw. It's gloved over to the near side where it will be pinned. As the horn will finally sound to end game number 2 here at the Ector County Coliseum. A close battle that almost saw overtime, but with just under 6 seconds left, 5.9 to be exact. The hopes of at least gaining a point taken away at the hands of the El Paso Rhinos, who win their second in a row. 38 shots for El Paso, 30 for Odessa. The season series for the Jacks now against the Rhinos is at 3-3. Another very close game. They gave it their all, 100%, especially in that third period and second. With just the unsuccessful clearance by them is what results in this 4-3 loss. It gives them a record now of 14-9-0-1. And the Rhinos record their 11th win in their inaugural season. They now sit at 24 points. They only had one power play this evening. They went 0 for 1. Jacks went 0 for 3. Again, another game in which the whistle did not dominate, but a very seldom finish to this game here at the Jack Shack. As you can tell, a lot of heavy heads fell the moment that puck reached the back of the net. They thought that they maybe would have been able to clear it. They had a few chances at it, and this is going to be a tough game to kind of digest for the Jacks, who played a phenomenal. I can't even describe how successful that second period was for them, on top of kind of building something in the third. It went back and forth, but on the far side, they had a few opportunities to clear it. Defensively, the Rhinos were able to keep it alive for them. But that eternity finally ended with a goal in the last 6 seconds by the Rhinos, as they improved to a 2-game win streak, and now it's a 2-game losing streak for the Jackalopes. Game number 3 of this 3-3 series, as the Jacks trying to avoid a sweep. They are the only team out of the South Division to have not been swept and to have not been shut out. They hope to keep that alive tomorrow and pick up 2 points against the El Paso Rhinos. We'll take you around the NHL real quick before signing off here from the Jack Shack. Just refreshing the game scoreboard. It's right now 3-0 Shreveport. 12 minutes left to go in the third. Ice Wolves up 3-0. If that score holds, the Jacks will drop down to third place. And the Ice Rays and Warriors tied at 4 apiece with under 5 to play in the third. At one point, it was 2-1 Corpus. So a close battle there. An Ice Rays win will also inch them closer to the Rhinos, as Corpus has 20 points this season so far. Close game here ending on a somber note, of course. Just under 6 seconds left. Unfortunate for the Jacks, but hopefully we see Bankier and Ahern in the lineup tomorrow, and maybe even some extra players for the Jacks if they can return healthy. It was a comeback that was almost complete here at the Jack Shack, or at least could have earned them a point after starting that first period down 3-0. Final score here in Game 2 of the 3 straight series between Odessa and El Paso, 4-3 Rhinos. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:15, back at the Jack Shack.